Letter of Warning to a Young Patriot. Welcome.
Thank you.
To anybody that reads this, feels inspired, this book really is a call to action.
It is. I mean, the basic argument of the book is that when would-be despots or would-be dictators want to close down an open society, close down a democracy, or crush a democracy movement, no matter who they are, whether it's Mussolini in the 20s, the National Socialists in the 30s in Germany, East Germany in the 50s, Czechoslovakia in the 60s, right. Pinochet's coup in Chile, the Chinese in the 80s, they all do the same 10 things. They all take the same 10 classic steps to close down a democracy.
It's a playbook.
It's a playbook. It's a blueprint. It's like tick, 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 tick. And what is so shocking to me, you know, and I didn't know this, and I actually wrote the book because a friend of mine who's the daughter of Holocaust survivors kept saying they did this in Germany, they did this in Germany, and I thought she was way out there. I thought this was rhetoric. Right. And I didn't want to think about it, but she forced me to sit down and read history, and not the history of the later years, of course, but the early years when Germany was still a parliamentary democracy with a modern society, celebrities, fashion, architecture, newspapers, an independent judiciary. And in those early years, there was this very comparable systematic assault on the rule of law and the Constitution that opened the door for everything that followed. And seeing this just made my hair stand on end, because we weren't just seeing tactics being reproduced, but actual sound bites and scenes and images right. being recycled from those 1931, 1932. So when I realized, and read these other histories, I understood that the great dictators were the innovators of this blueprint. Mussolini was the great original mind. Hitler studied Mussolini, Stalin studied Hitler, Hitler studied Stalin, and then petty dictators subsequently reproduced the blueprint. We teach the blueprint at School for the Americas to would-be Latin American dictators. So I can tell you by the clock what time it is from knowing the blueprint, in the sense that, I wrote the book when Thailand was experiencing a coup. And I was like, okay, everyone, there was a coup in Thailand, and they checked through a shopping list of activities, and within a week, a democracy was a police state. And in Burma, Myanmar, 2 weeks ago, because I know the blueprint, it's like, okay, today the monks are marching, tomorrow they're going to fire on the monks, in 3 days they'll suspend communications and, cut off connection to the outside world. Yeah. And so because I'm familiar with the blueprint, and democracy activists around the world are like, no, America, don't do it. Right. Because I'm familiar with the blueprint, I see how dangerous it is that these 10 steps are taking place in America right now. Yeah. That yes, as you said, Mark, the Bush administration seems systematically to have begun implementing them in the wake of 9/11, and that because we're so historically ignorant and so naive about democracy, in a way the founders would never have wanted us to be naive about democracy, because they knew
Thank you very much indeed for your time. Thank you for joining us.